Hey guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more Brock O'Clock content, and be sure to check us out on Twitch where you can catch our live stream hangouts. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram and support the stream on Redbubble. Links in the description below. Big man baby! Streets of Rage is badass from the moment you start the game. When you get this awesome tune and intro, you know you're in for a treat. Just listen to this. I used to play this game all the time as a kid, as well as Golden Axe, which are very similar in gameplay, but different in art style for sure. It's a shame that Streets of Rage characters were never featured in the crossover games such as Sonic Tennis or Racing, because it truly is one of Sega's classic franchises. I love this game, but it's not completely perfect, but we'll get there. Let's start at the beginning. Streets of Rage happens to be a two-player co-op game, so what you're about to see is footage from when I streamed it with my buddy Josh. You have three characters to choose from: Axel, Blaze, and Adam. When I was a kid, I would always choose Blaze, so that's who I played as here. The game was heavily inspired by the Final Fight series, and it definitely shows. Just look how similar something like Axel's character design is to Cody from Final Fight. The first level is iconic. The neon street sign in the background, the blue colors, and the once again awesome music. The controls are a little noticeably slow at first, and sometimes the frame rate drops in later levels, but it's nothing too bad, nothing game-breaking or anything. Beating people up is fun, and it feels good. It sounds good, you can dance, do flips, you can even do combo moves in co-op mode like this. Oh yeah, you only have one life.
Dude, fuck that.
Oh, fuck, get Shane soon! Get Shane soon! The enemies consist of dancing thugs, strippers, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And there's lots of weapons you could find along the way, such as knives, lead pipes, baseball bats, and crack cocaine. Speaking of weapons, one thing that sucks is the weapon's health is based on how many times you drop it, and in co-op you can accidentally grab your partner by running into them. You don't even press a button, you just run into them on accident. This drains the weapon's health, and sometimes if you're not careful, you can instantly lose your weapon. Hold on to it. Oh, damn it. Sometimes you can accidentally hit your partner with a weapon though, and it can create some pretty funny moments. Oh, and that's right, there's no way to turn off friendly fire, which is also similar to Final Fight. But once again, sometimes it's worth it. Oh.
Ow, what the fuck? Ow, what the fuck? Ow, what the fuck?
Another thing that sucks is the power-ups. Not the power-ups themselves, which you usually get like one per level, although you can find extras, but the fact that the game doesn't tell you how to use them. How many times have you started an old school game like Streets of Rage or Golden Axe, especially these two, and this happened? Okay, be careful about what button you press. We don't know what activates the suit. Okay, what did you press? I suppose what you could do, though, is just figure out what all the buttons do and then reset the game. I mean, it's not like it's a big penalty, and you'll find out right at the beginning of the game anyway. It just seems kind of weird that they don't tell you how to use anything. Although I must say, when we were live streaming this happened to us a couple of times. I suppose you could say we're morons, which we are, but at the same time, one slip of the button and you accidentally waste your power-up. But I guess you could blame that more on us than the game itself. Just be careful about what button you're hitting at all times. One last con I feel like I have to mention: when me and my buddy were playing together, he died the exact same time the boss did, and he had to use a continue. I know we had continues left, but since he died at the same time as the boss, it gave him a game over, and he wasn't able to return for the rest of the game. Luckily, we had a save state that was co-op for round 6, so I just did round 5 solo, and then he was able to join back in with a save state, although that's why you'll see him at the end of this video playing as Adam as opposed to Axel. It's a really fucked glitch, but honestly, it's probably the worst con I've mentioned so far. The rest of it is just really minor things, so that's pretty good. At the end of the game, before you fight Mr. X, the final stage is actually a boss rush, and I haven't even gone over the bosses yet, so let's do it right now. You've got the weird dude from the first level who looks like a dumb pirate kind of guy. You've got Freddy Krueger, the Ultimate Warrior, big man baby, and then you've got these two girls that look like Blaze, but they're green, and they are fucking tough as shit. They do all these like flips and shit, and all the other bosses have their difficulties, but man, I had a lot of trouble with these ones. It's like, I just want to fucking, damn it. God, fucking, God. This boss rush is tough as shit. And on top of that, you have to fight the toughest boss in the game right afterwards, Mr. X himself. What's neat about this battle is that Mr. X actually offers for you to join him. And depending on which option you pick, it actually creates multiple endings for this game. If both of you pick no, you're not going to join Mr. X, then the real boss battle for the good ending of the game begins. If both of you pick yes, Mr. X actually sends you back to level 6 of the game, and you have to continue the game from that point onward. That's a really weird one. And finally, what is probably the most interesting one, at least in my opinion, if one of you says yes and the other co-op partner says no, you actually have to do a fight to the death until each other's lives are almost completely gone, which in our case sucked because we had a ton of lives, so I just ended up killing myself and letting Josh take the throne from Mr. X, which results in the bad ending of the game, but it's also kind of the most badass ending too. Each character's bad ending has a different image that you could, I guess, unlock or see. But overall, it doesn't really change much. You still beat Streets of Rage, and it's an awesome game. To sum this all up, Streets of Rage is a really good game. It's highly worthy of your time. It's nice and short. It's only about an hour. Even if you're a new school gamer, you would be able to appreciate this game. It's not too difficult. It's not too easy either. It's a great in-the-middle challenge. And I highly recommend grabbing a buddy to play this game with, not only just because it's more fun in co-op, but it'll create some laughs too of you accidentally beating the shit out of each other. One last thing before I go. I used to play this game all the time as a kid, as well as Golden Axe. Golden Ass. At the end of the game, before you fight Mr. X, the big villain of the game, you actually do a boss rush, which I haven't even brought up the Bob Rosses. I haven't brought up the Bob Rosses yet.